So now there's a certain version of Errol Spence that shoulda, coulda, woulda beat Terence Bud Crawford. There's a certain version of Errol Spence that should have showed up against Terence Bud Crawford. The version that we saw, well, we saw what we saw that day, July 29th. Lopsided beatdown. Errol Spence Jr. had two left feet, off balance, couldn't do nothing, right? But now there's a version of Errol Spence that people wish they has just had a showed up against Terence Bud Crawford. Let's take a look at this version of Errol Spence these people are talking about. Errol Spence looked a lot more ferocious back in the day. They said this is before the accident. They say that this is the version of Errol Spence they wish had showed up against Terence Bud Crawford. But look, like I told you guys before, it's all his fault that version didn't show up to fight Terence Crawford. You could say it was an accident that may have slowed him down. You could say it was a spots of inactivity that slowed him down. But I think the main thing is that Errol Spence didn't stay in the gym sharpening his skills and his tools over the years. Because if anything, if he's been inactive, he would have still been really sharp. Tip-top shape. You know, for what he lacked for and being active, he made up for it with learning, improving, adding new dimensions, adding new skills to his game, improving things like his balance, right? Taking it a little bit more serious. Salute to the homie Our Man the Great. Wish this version of Spence fought Bud. I mean, but it's a heavy bag though, bro. That's the thing. We watching videos of him hitting heavy bags, right? We watching videos of him hitting heavy bags. Hey, that version of Spence is nice though. I ain't gonna lie to you. That version is a lot better than any version that I've seen. Now, we just talking about hitting the bag now. He ain't in there with no crafty counter punch of Crawford. He's hitting the bag now. And the reason why I'm even talking about Spence, because nobody's talking about Spence no more. Everybody forgot about Errol Spence, but your boy Bushido didn't forget about Errol, the truth, Big Fish Spence Jr. This version is nice, though. You know what version that was? You know what version that was? That was the serious Spence. That was the hungry Spence. That was the hungry, motivated, I want to get the IBF belt Spence. Before the party and before all the distractions. Before everything, right? This is all before everything. This is all before everything, man. That's what that is. Even this right here. This was, what fight was this? It's hard to say. I want to say, no, it wasn't the Danny fight. Which fight was this? Leave it in the comment section. He had the shag right here. So I want to say this was probably Bundu or somebody. He looks a lot more. He just looks. He looks better. You know, your boy Bushido is honest. You know, he's honest. He looks stronger. He looks better. He looks stronger. He looks healthier. You know what I'm saying? He looked good going to the Crawford fight too. But guess what? All this stuff is just an excuse. Styles make fights. It's a style thing, people. Errol Spence wasn't staying on top of his game over the years during his time off. He didn't stay on top of his game, bro. And while I can admit that he do look a lot better while he's hitting the bag here, especially the younger version of Spence we saw, right? A lot better. He was hungry, though. That was before the $1 million paydays. He was hungry back then. Now when you see him, he's lethargic. You know, you see it on the screen. He's lethargic. You know, it's just not the same. You could blame it on the weight. You could blame it on the accidents, but really, it's the fact that Errol Spence just hasn't improved over the years. He didn't level up. How hungry is he? Terence Crawford seemed to be getting better over the years. For what he may be losing as he gets older, he still seems to gain something in skills. He's always improving his skills. Always making sure he's in shape. And that's what Errol Spence needs to do. That's what Errol Spence needed to do. He's playing catch up, like I said. Errol Spence is playing catch up, man. And they say the rematch, right? I'm hearing, right, that the rematch is pretty much a go, and it's going down in 154. That is a go, and it's going down at 154. Nobody, Errol Spence fans, you know, they can't come out and really. It's sad, man. It's sad. You know, your boy Bushido go have to talk about Spence. But the thing that I could talk about Spence, I'm not about to kick him or say, oh, he's sucking. I'm just going to say, what could he have done and what he needs to do and what should he do? I'm not saying that he could beat Crawford now. I just think Crawford is just a bad fight for him. Stylistically, Crawford's a bad fight for a lot of people. But I think he's a very bad fight for Spence. I mean, we saw it. We saw the Spence fight in comparison to a lot of other Crawfords, quote unquote, bums that Bud fought. We saw that, bro. Stylistically, it's a horrible fight. And not to mention, not just the styles, but Crawford is a very athletic guy. Very athletic. Very agile. So not only will Spence be dealing with a situation to where this guy is more athletic, he's quick, he's slick. He got to deal with the skill difference too. He got to deal with the athleticism and then the skill set. That robotic work rate, just constantly going, yeah, it looks good, but only when they standing still, brother. Only when they standing still, man. Yeah, this version can look good all he wants, but only when these guys are standing still. Spence needs to learn how to move his feet to stop guys and trap guys and get his shit going. However, will he be able to hurt guys? Because at this point, it don't like he's hurting guys. He couldn't hurt Crawford, the little lightweight Chinny Crawford, right? He couldn't hurt him. I'll be lying to you if I said he wasn't nasty right there. That version of Spence was really nasty, but he was hungry back then. And like I said, like I tell you guys all the time, man, the sport of boxing, the combat sports, the fight, the life of a fighter, that shit can pass you by fast. I think the game has passed Errol Spence by a little bit. Not a lot. Not like it has passed Rona. But by you sitting out for so long, guys like Keith Thurman, man, the sport of pass you by, you go start struggling. You may struggle with standing on this, bro. Why? Because you've been sitting down for so long. That's another thing that probably hurt Errol Spence. The inactivity, man. You got to stay in the ring to stay sharp. And a lot of these guys ain't as disciplined as guys like Jerron Ennis or Terence Crawford, who just gym wrestlers, love to stay in the gym. Guys like Shakur Stevenson, who just love to stay in the gym all year round for no reason. Some of these dudes don't be in the gym unless they got a fight lined up, bro. And shit like that bite you in the ass years later on down the line. Because as you reach the top level, it becomes a game of inches, bro. Everybody's good. Everybody's fast. Everybody's strong. But it become a game of interest, man. Who's putting the most work in the gym? Who's working harder, man? Who's doing right by their body? Who's doing right by themselves? Who's going to sleep at night? That shit matters, bro. That's the thing with Errol Spence Jr., man. Everything caught up to him. Errol Spence was nasty, man. He was busy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He was getting busy. He was getting real busy back in the day. Like I told you, man, the Spence that fought Lamont Peterson was nasty. That version of Spence, he was explosive. What I look for is the explosiveness. Errol Spence seemed to have lost his explosiveness. When a fighter starts to lose his explosiveness as he gets older, that's when you know they start to be on the decline. Something's going on. Something going on. Either they're on the decline or they're not putting in the work like they need to. I don't see the explosiveness that I need to see from Errol Spence Jr. I don't see the explosiveness that I need to see from Errol Spence. But yeah, you guys, they say this is the version of Errol Spence Jr. that should have, and they wish they had this version had showed up against Terence Crawford. That version should have showed up against Terence Crawford, but unfortunately for Errol Spence Jr., he decided to do a lot of heavy lifting. He decided to draw an imaginary barrier amongst boxing, wrong side of the street. He decided to, do a lot of heavy lifting, and then by the time he got to Terence Crawford, he was too damn tired. But yeah, man, salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button for your boy. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.